this is a bit of a complicated and maybe even a little bit of a contentious subject. So, CDC says that if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask indoors, outdoors, or virtually anywhere, and social distancing isn't really required anymore. So, first thoughts, I'm sure from everyone, is Yahoo, this is great. But I'm afraid that it's kind of important to read between the lines a little bit and look at the fine print about this. And let me elaborate. First of all, while you look at the media right now, it kind of implies that the pandemic's over, we're done. And it's not. There's still roughly 50 cases that we know about in Forsyth County every day. There's still deaths and there's still hospitalizations. In fact, our hospitalizations number of admissions due to COVID a day hasn't really budged in the last 6 weeks. So COVID still exists, but the epidemiology is going to change. We've been looking at these big waves that hit and move through a population and affect everyone pretty equally, sometimes some socioeconomic or racial differences, but everyone is affected. What's going to happen as time goes on, the virus is going to take advantage of unvaccinated populations of people. So rather than having big waves move through an entire community, we're going to have pockets of infection that occur in unvaccinated groups. This could be in a workplace, this could be in a school, could be in a social circle, it could be from a spreader event in a place of worship or in a drinking or eating establishment. But it's going to take advantage of unvaccinated people. So why is that important? Is that even though I agree with the CDC and the science that vaccinated people are largely protected from getting infected, not 100%, but largely, and that transmission from vaccinated people is an unusual event. The problem is that not everyone's vaccinated. Here in Forsyth County, for instance, we're roughly at about 50% who've been partially or fully vaccinated. So that means, take for an example, that you walk in to a retail store and there's 100 people in that retail store. Just doing the math, 50% of those 50 are not vaccinated. Same thing in a place of worship, same thing in a gymnasium, same thing in a restaurant. Now, that's maybe okay if you are there and you're vaccinated and you think, well, I feel protected enough by my vaccine. But the people around you don't know who's been vaccinated and who's not. Take, for instance, you have a store clerk, who's checking people out, and they have somebody at home who's immunocompromised. They've been taking special precautions because they don't want to get COVID, and they especially don't want their loved one to get it from them. They've been wearing their mask, they've been going to work, and their anxiety level is a lot less because everyone around them is also masked. Remember, the primary reason we wear the mask is to protect other people. Yes, it helps you, the individual, the mask wearer, as well, because there's some protection there, but it's to protect other people. So the store worker looks around now at all these unmasked people. Who's vaccinated? Who's not? I don't know. I feel unsafe. Another situation, let's say you've been a school, you're a teacher in a school, and as a teacher, you've been vaccinated, but you're an elementary school teacher. None of your kids have been vaccinated yet. We've just started the 12 to 15-year-old group, but you feel safe because they're vaccinated and everyone's distancing a little bit, and experience has been in that situation that transmission in schools is an unusual event. But if we start taking down the masks, then that population of people is going to have transmission with it. Also, let's think about the kids a little bit. Let's take a 14-year-old. Some 14-year-olds will be vaccinated and some won't. The CDC says if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. So are the kids who are not vaccinated going to wear a mask and feel apart, feel separate, feel like they're being discriminated against? It's just something to think about.